Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of OG55 Live. I got Mr. Tommy Toon and Theme Park Conductor. We are taking your questions and comments. We also have some big news coming from Universal. We're going to talk about that up next on OG55. Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of OG55 Live. Like I said, I got Tommy in the house, Theme Park Conductor coming through. We are talking all about, well, anything you guys want to talk about. So post it in the chat. Whatever you guys want to discuss, we'll talk about it. But before we dive in, Tommy, it is awesome having you back on, brother. How are you today, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great, OG. Thanks for having me back on. What's up, Conductor? I'm excited to maybe talk about HHN real fast before we get into the questions, but you know where to find me. Find me on YouTube at Tommy Toon World. Oh, man, is Chucky talking? You got to be careful, man. It's getting towards that season. And then you can find me on Instagram, right, at Tommy2_.
There he is. There he is. You can there, Tommy and Chucky right behind him. And we got Mr. Choo Choo coming through. How you doing, Conductor?
I'm doing well. The Choo Choo is loud and it's steamy. That caboose is hot and ready. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on X at Theme Conductor. You can also find me every Sunday, except for today's Sunday, but every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Conductor Sunday live stream, and new content on the channel about Disneyland 70th. And I just did a X Spaces about this breaking news we're going to talk about for HHN. So definitely go check out that Spaces.
100%, boys. We're gonna get this party started. we got Teo in the house. Hey everyone. We got Mr. Giant Peter Show. What's up? We got Dragon Blood in the house. We got Trey Porter. Big shout out to Trey Porter. He's been a friend of the channel pretty much since day one. So big shout out to Trey. We got Cassandra in the house. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. We got Mr. Tech Bear in the house. What's up, Kev? Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. So before we dive into all your questions and comments, we got some big names coming out of Universal. Tommy, you want to set the table, brother? What happened today? What did we hear today from Universal that was so exciting?
Oh, man, about an hour or so ago, they announced 5 nights at Freddy's coming to Horror Nights.
That's crazy, man. This is a huge IP, right? Massive IP. This is going to be a huge thing for Universal. This is going to be bi-coastal, right? This is going to be the West Coast and Florida. Where both coasts are getting this?
Yeah, Conductor, you want to take over?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So they have confirmed that FNAF is going to be part of Hollywood and Orlando. They did not specify if it is going to be a house, but more than definitely it is going to be a house. A few years ago, we did have the actual movie animatronics in the DreamWorks Theater, where everyone could get close, take pictures with them before you walked into the main theater for the Megan show. So I have no doubt in my mind this is going to be a FNAF house. I'm super excited. A lot of people have been wanting FNAF for a long time. And shout out to Tommy with that Freddy Fazbear popcorn bucket behind his head there. Things looking fire. I love it. But also, this is kind of relating to, horror news and whatnot. They just dropped the trailer for Black Phone 2 that releases on October the 17th. What a coincidence to drop that trailer and then drop FNAF for HHN. Man.
Yeah, no, it's fire. It's fire. Like I've been singing the praises of Universal now ever since I went to HHN, basically for the first time this past October, right? Before this past October, it was like 20 something years ago that I went to this event, right? So now here's the thing. I want to set the table a little bit, right? I don't give a fuck about Halloween. I don't give a fuck about horror movies, and Universal still won me over like crazy. I was like, oh my God. I walked out of the event like I was ear to ear smiling. I went with Ebba and the Italiano. I had a blast, dude. So, I mean, for Universal to convert someone like me who isn't really into that stuff, and I came out of that like super impressed, like, yeah, I'm doing that next year. Huge deal. You know what I'm saying? So HHN crushed it. FanFest, y'all know how I feel about FanFest. Like, I've been praising that like crazy on the channel. So I'm excited, man. Five Nights at Freddy is an amazing franchise. I think they can do a lot with this in like a maze and stuff, dude. I think it's going to be an absolute banger. You know, I mean, and like, oh, go ahead, Tommy. Sorry, go ahead, brother.
Okay, yeah. Are we going to get Five Nights at Freddy's and the real animatronics from the first movie, and then that will lead us in to the movie that drops in December? You know, that's what I'm wondering.
It's possible. The reason why I say it's possible, because we you know, going off, you know, what they did for last year, or not last year, but the year prior with Exorcist Believer. They, you know, they had a lot, not a lot, but some scenes in the house off the new movie, and the movie wasn't released yet. Now, with FNAF being such a huge IP and such a huge fan base, and the fact that they're going to have an actual house for the very first time at the event on both coasts, I honestly believe that it's going to be based off the first one heavily, but they are going to have some Easter eggs to the second one, but not give too much away, though.
Yeah. Now Dragon Blood's coming in with now all we need is Terrifier. Tommy, you got thoughts on that, brother?
Yeah, man, I agree. If they drop the announcement for Terrifier almost back to back with FNAF, that's going to be crazy, because I'm not sure if the teaser that Horror Nights have been teasing with the static and the TV, I don't know if that's actually for FNAF or if this is part of something else. Because if they're dropping this, they're going to drop something right away, too, with the tickets when they drop the announcement for the tickets. So Terrifier can be right up next, man. And then those tickets are going to be flying, bro. Like, get your RIP tickets, get your Express Unlimited, because it's going to be a crazy, crazy season. That's crazy that you're not a horror fan, OG, and it won you over. It's something about these Universal nighttime events, bro. These after dark events that last till 2 a.m. win you over, bro. It's something, I don't know.
Bro, I'm telling you, like I basically went for the company because I love our family, our OG fam, you know what I'm saying? So I went for Eva and George, like and Abby, right? I didn't expect to fall in love with the actual event because, like I said, I'm not really into like the whole like horror movie thing. And bro, I'm going through this. Was it Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the pigs and all that shit? I was like, this is crazy, bro. This is absolutely crazy. So I absolutely loved it. I'm definitely going. Cassandra here says they wanted to throw us off track by releasing news of HHN on a Sunday. Yeah.
That's what everyone was shocked, because everyone's all like, why would you announce something on a Sunday? And then just imagine if they announced something tomorrow back to back.
Oh, man. It's absolutely wild. Cassandra here says, if no one gets footage of OG going through the mazes this year, I'm going to be upset.
Right.
Okay, so a little backstory on this.
We'll get it.
We'll get it for sure. Little backstory. I was like giving Mr. Webba all kinds of crap, but leading up to the event, like, oh, Ebba, don't worry, man. I'll hold your hand, bro, if you get scared. Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. And we're going through these mazes, and I'm the one freaking out, dude. I'm like screaming. It was freaking hilarious. But Cassandra, yeah, we'll get that footage. We'll absolutely get that footage. But yeah, great stuff. But I want to, everyone's piling. Lucas Kim is in the chat. What's up, Lucas? It's good to see you. So let's dive right into the topics here, or the questions here. We got a big one from Mr. Matthew Murr, all the way from the UK, with 20 euros. Matthew, thank you so much, brother. You are very, very generous. Matthew has been family here at OG55 for a long time, and we do appreciate you, Matthew. Thank you so much, brother. He says here, I've always thought the one advantage Tim Rice had over Howard Ashman, if nothing else, is that he'd already cracked a wider range of non-orchestral world music styles in his pre-Disney career. So he may have been equipped just a little better to tackle the more heavily ethnic soundtracks, such as Aladdin and The Lion King. What do you think of this very rare critique of Ashman over Rice? Okay, you make a great point, Matthew. Here's my thing, though. And you know me, if you guys have been watching the channel for a long time, I'm a huge Ashman fan. I love Howard Ashman. Absolute genius. You know what I'm saying? Brilliant, brilliant man. One of a kind. I honestly have to respectfully not disagree, but push back a little bit, Matthew. To be fair to Howard, we didn't really get a chance to hear what he could do with the more cultural kind of films. He passed away kind of early on in the Aladdin process. Tim Rice, I believe, came in and kind of finished that one up for him. And then the next one was like Lion King, and he wasn't around for Lion King and Mulan and all those other movies. Unfortunately, he wasn't around long enough to really show what he could do with the cultural music. So in my opinion, I can't really say one way or the other. Tim Rice is a very talented dude, and you're right. He's got a great portfolio. He knows what he's doing 100%. I don't disagree with you about Tim Rice. I just don't know, though, if I can confidently say that he is better equipped or he's going to make better music than Howard, because Howard didn't really get a chance to do those cultural movies. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thoughts. But Tommy, do you follow the Disney music stuff? I mean, what are your thoughts on this if you follow or?
I don't follow too much, actually. So I'm not sure my opinion is valid or anything, but I do like the Aladdin and everything. That theme song, all that album's really fire. So I see, that's about it on my end. What about you, Conductor?
I'm probably the exact same way. So that's kind of, I'm not as experienced on that. So I'm just going to kind of float with Tommy on that one.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And Trey Porter, good evening to you too, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we got CSRS in the house saying Infinity Defense, which is the Avengers e-ticket, will likely be updatable. Is it possible they will swap out King Thanos for another villain, or will he always be the villain? It's possible. Okay, here's the thing, CSRS. I think this attraction is updatable, and it's being designed to update and change out and add new heroes and maybe new villains. My only pushback on this, if we get a giant next generation King Thanos animatronic, that's going to be tough to swap him out. If we don't get the animatronic though, and he's only screen based, I'm with you 100% CSRS. I think that he's absolutely going to be swapped out for another villain down the road. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. If we get the AA and it's like a crazy animatronic, probably not. He's the guy then, If we don't get the AA and it's only screen based, oh, absolutely, we'll get other villains. What say you, Tommy?
I'm thinking basically since they've been pushing this for a long time and we've been seeing it prolonged, and I think they're just making it that much better. I think they have a foolproof story, because this was asked one time before, and I actually thought about it more. And to preserve Thanos in a way that it's King Thanos, so it's almost like, the way he was portrayed in, the comics and stuff. This is pretty solid what we're getting, because I don't think we're getting end game material stuff. I think it's original to the script. Yeah. So I understand, stuff gets old or repetitive, maybe like the Spider-Man ride at, Avengers Campus, but this has a lot to offer, I think. And like you said, OG, if it's an animatronic for Thanos, I'm sure they put their all into it. So may even be Josh Brolin's voiceover. So they may not want to switch it out if they have multiple animatronics, especially if it goes with a certain story, because then you'll have to change the whole inside, the whole
exactly. If you add those physical things like the animatronic and all that stuff, it's gonna be really tough to change him out. But if it's just all screens, which I hope it's not all screens. I mean, I know screens are a big element of this attraction, but I do hope they mix it up. Like Universal has done a really good job. We all follow Universal pretty closely here. but like with their Monsters Unchained attraction and like the Battle@! Ministry, they use screens pretty heavily, but it's also mixed in with like some pretty state-of-the-art animatronics. I want to see that energy with this new Avengers ride. So yeah, I mean, I would almost rather King Thanos be the villain and have him be the only villain if it meant getting a dope animatronic of him, like next gen, you know, like,
yeah.
So you can swap everything else out around him, but like if he's a dope animatronic, dude, yeah, that's gonna be sick. But what say you, Conductor?
Well, so I'm gonna go this way. I think a King Thanos animatronic would be amazing. What I would like to see is kind of like what they did with Transformers, where they have practical sets, but they still have the screens. I'm okay with that as long as it's not all screens. And I think like Millennium Falcon, you know how they have the animatronic. What's his name? I'm trying to think of his name, the character.
Oh, Hondo.
Hondo. Okay. So they have Hondo as an animatronic in the pre-show. If they had King Thanos like that, I'd be okay with that. Because even if he's in the ride and he's on the screen, it would be easier to change him out there than it would, like OG was saying, if he was an actual animatronic in the ride. Because then you would have to shut the ride down for months on end to swap that out. Then you would have to do ride testing, make sure the ride's, working and all that. So I think having King Thanos as a animatronic like Mondo or like Hondo is at the Millennium Falcon in the pre-show, I think that would be a better option.
Yeah. And hey, if they add a Mondo animatronic, I'm all for it. Fired, baby. Absolutely. Let's go. Shout out to Mondo. Cassandra here says, happy belated birthday, OG. Thank you so much, Cassandra. I really do appreciate you. And she has a cute little cake emoji. And you know what we do when we talk about cake, you know what I'm saying?
Cake!
There we go. We got some cake. Okay, so we got some great stuff here. I wanted to bring up, hold on one second. There was a great question here I wanted to talk to you guys about from Ben Zacuto. I want to thank you, Ben, so much for being a member here on OG55. Ben here says, do you think we could realistically get more Nintendo at Universal Hollywood? Realistically, yeah, I think it's a huge possibility. Universal is like, and we've talked to our friend Theme Park Wizard about it. They're trying to kind of I don't want to say offload, but sort of like maneuver the sound stages out there in Hollywood to like accommodate more theme park space. Yeah. Nintendo's a huge property, Ben. I mean, they're going to want to put more Nintendo here. Is it going to be Donkey Kong? Is it going to be Zelda? I don't know. But I would be really shocked if we didn't get more Nintendo out here in Hollywood, and they've been bullish out here in Hollywood. We're getting a new Universal hotel. They've been taking this. I think Universal has seen like Disney and what they've done here in California. There's money to be made, and Universal is starting to realize that, and I think they're gonna really try to tap into that California market more and more. So, 100%, Ben. I'm with near certainty. I think we're gonna get more Nintendo. What say you, Mr. Choo Choo?
So actually, it's interesting because when we looked at, there was a map that was posted by, I think it was Universal High and Universal Apex, probably over, I don't know, close to a year ago. And it showed that the Park Lake area, which you pass by on the tram going towards Little Europe before you go into Earthquake, which is where the tram goes in, you're feeling an earthquake. Well, that little lake that's there, supposedly it's supposed to be drained out, cleared out, and that's where they shot the original Creature from the Black Lagoon, other movies, commercials, stuff like that. But that footprint's supposed to be new sound stages, and they're planning on where they built the 4 next to, I think it's Lakestream Boulevard, which is literally right across the street from Warner Brothers. If you look as you're going down to the lower lot in the theme park, and you get down the first escalators, and then you're walking on that straight path before you go down more escalators, and you look towards Warner Brothers, you can kind of see that kind of green looking hill.
Right.
They plan on building more from what I heard, not confirmed, but they plan on using that hillside to shave that down and build more sound stages.
Wow.
And it makes sense because when we were at FanFest, at least me, when I was there grand opening night, or no, it wasn't FanFest. It was the last day of Fast and Furious Supercharged. And bunch of vloggers were there. George was there. Wizard was there. And we got a kick out of it because as we're passing through the World of War set, they had the goats on the hill eating the vegetation. And then, like days prior on that hillside, I'm talking about where those new sound stages are, they had the goats eating the vegetation. So it makes me wonder if they're going to start building more sound stages in the future, though. But more sound stages on that hillside. They're going to definitely build two massive buildings in that Park Lake area. Once we start seeing that type of construction, you can honestly believe that the sound stages directly behind Super Nintendo World, and I'm talking sound stage 7 through 12, will be slated to be ripped out.
This guy right here, he's calling out sound stages. 7 through 12, you're on notice. I love it. 7 through 12. Mr. Tommy, what say you? More Nintendo coming to California?
Let me tell you, Conductor's been advocating for more Nintendo and more Harry Potter since I met him. So, of course, he's going to be advocating all this time. So, for me, I wish we could acquire that golf course right next to Universal because that would open more land and we could have as much as we want. We could play as fans and we could have everything, all the dreamlands. But we're probably not getting more Nintendo, in my opinion. I think they would have probably put it in. Maybe they would have put it in already. They may not see Donkey Kong as lucrative as they may have thought, but I seen Dragon Blood's comment before he moved it. I would like a form of Dark Universe here, or more Harry Potter would be cool just because that land is really nice. If we got something Nintendo, maybe bring Pokemon, something that no one has. Yeah.
100%. Lucas Kim, friend of the channel. Lucas, incredibly generous of you, sir. I do appreciate you so much. Unbelievable $100 super chat from Lucas Kim. Again, I cannot thank you enough, Lucas. Thank you so much. Happy belated birthday. I know I already texted you, but have yourself a nice cake at Paris Baguette. Paris Baguette is awesome, by the way. Like, we have one down the street from me. You're right, Lucas. Amazing cakes over there. He says here, off topic, Bandai has announced Design Your Own Gundam plastic model museum in Japan. Do you think Disney should do something like that in their park? And again, Lucas, I want to thank you so much. Really generous of you for that super chat. Yeah, man, I would actually love something like that because if you look at like the Disney IP, you can have like, well, I mean, you can do like let's say, for example, Big Hero 6, where you can design your own like robots and like, like tech, like mech suits and all that for like, if they want to stay within their own franchise. Right. But I'd even be down if you want to do something like in like, DCA or Hollywood Studios where they dip into more anime. That would be really sick. Lucas, we've talked about it and you were 1,000% correct about the anime. I didn't know how much of overlap there was with the theme park kind of fan base and the anime. Universal Fan Fest has proven you correct, and there is a fan base like no other. That One Piece stuff at Fan Fest was massively successful. Everyone had the straw hats and the Nami cosplays, the whole thing. I mean, it was incredible. So there's a market out there for that. So yeah, I think Disney should dip into it in some form or fashion. If they do anime, put it in DCA, put it in Hollywood Studios. Those are the parks you would do it. If you don't want to do anime, though, you can even use your own stuff, like Big Hero 6. What say you, Tommy?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they could knock out the anime stuff. So if this is a Gundam plastic model museum where you build your own stuff, or they have plastic models in front of you that are giant.
It said that it has to design your own.
Wow, that's crazy to have. I mean, imagine, because they already go big over there with the Gundam and the like style that's like really huge and stuff. I don't know too much about Gundam, but I know that's a big thing. People want the more hands-on stuff nowadays. They want to be able to go and have a big experience. And if this is something where you could get your hands on, that's pretty cracking. Disney kind of does that already with the Droid Depot. So I was thinking maybe it's more like that. We could get something like that too, like more or less. That would be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Choo Choo, what say you, sir?
Mr. Choo Choo, I love it. I want to give a shout out first before I give my comment to Lucas and Disney. Thank you for the super chat to OG. You're always amazing. Thank you for doing that. But to answer your guys' question, especially Lucas's question, I think that would be absolutely amazing. Again, what Tommy was saying with the Droid Depot, if they did something like that, I'd be ecstatic, because as much as the Droid Depot, since I've renewed my pass and I've gone in there, it's still relevant. They're coming out with new droids that you can build. There's new modifications that you can add to your existing droids, so it's still relevant. So they have the experience down. They have the technology down. So something like this would be perfect. I can't see why not.
100%, 100%. And then Lucas follows up with, I'd rather see more Nintendo than Harry Potter Wizarding World. It needs more Zelda, Pokemon, and Metroid and Kirby. Oh, man.
Ooh, Kirby.
Yes,
Metroid,
please.
Kirby, damn.
No, and here's the thing, Lucas. You're absolutely right on this, brother, because Harry Potter is a great franchise. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Universal has done a lot of great stuff with Harry Potter, right? There's no denying the quality that they've done with that franchise, right? But they've done it so many times already. It's in every single park. Let's try something new, right? Let's do Zelda. Dude, Metroid would be badass, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That would be crazy. That would be insane. And, Zelda Ocarina of Time is my favorite video game ever. Man, I just went to the Nintendo store in San Francisco, so I got a dose of all this, Lucas and Disney. I got all the Zelda stuff, man. It was overwhelming, man. All the Pokemon. So I could definitely see that at the parks, man. I'm just thinking ahead. Hopefully they give us Zelda at Epic Universe at least, right?
I think they are, because they have like the
stained glass, right?
They do, and they don't have any other Nintendo IP in there. They don't have any other Nintendo properties. If it was like a smorgasbord of like a bunch of Nintendo stuff, I'd be like, oh, okay, they're throwing all the Nintendo stuff in those shops, but they're not.
Right.
It's Mario, Super Mario. It's freaking Donkey Kong and Zelda. So they're basically telling you, hey, Zelda's coming.
Right.
What say you, conductor?
Oh, I 100% believe it. As much as I would like to see more Harry Potter and Nintendo, I'm kind of 50-50. I would like to see both. The thing that I see is, I think because Falls Lake, if anyone's been to Hollywood at Universal, people know that the Falls Lake area has been talked about so many times about being a Harry Potter expansion, because it's literally directly behind the existing Harry Potter land. We even walk towards that area to experience 2 HHN houses every single year. So it would make sense. And the fact what they're doing with the Hillside project behind the Mummy, and the fact that it's been talked about moving the studio tour down there, again, none of this is confirmed, but heavily rumored. I would like to see both. I don't, as small as Universal Hollywood is, I don't think having both IPs expanded would be such a horrible thing. And in a Dark Universe West would be absolutely incredible. There's plenty of Universal monsters they can surround themselves with out here in Hollywood. It doesn't have to be a direct copy of Orlando.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, 100%. We got a lot of monsters out here in Hollywood. We got Bob Chapek. We got a bunch of them, So
that's true.
I'm just kidding. But I agree with you, conductor. I mean, Hollywood is where it all started.
Yeah.
You know, those monster movies built Universal Studios, and that studio is out here in Hollywood. Like that franchise needs to have a land. I get it. We don't have the space that Orlando has. I get that. That's fine. But we should get at least the attraction or something.
Yeah.
Out here in California, you know what I'm saying? So, but Rogue Attraction says One Piece screams theme park.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he goes on to continue here. One Piece could really be Universal's Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, my
way. Oh, okay. So we actually talked. So I saw a clip. I don't know if it was real or not, but they were showing, I think it was either One Piece or Jujutsu Kaisen in Waterworld. I don't know if that was Universal Japan or what it was, but it looked amazing. If that came for next year's Fan Fest, Waterworld would be packed every
Bro, One Piece is perfect for that Waterworld arena. You know, because I didn't really like it. That was the one critique I had about HHN. I don't think the Purge really worked in that space.
No,
kind of weird. But freaking One Piece, dude.
Oh,
it was that franchise is made for that. For that, dude. That would be absolutely amazing. Dragon Blood here says, at least bring us West Coasters, Monsters Unchained, but has Chapek in it as an extra monster. Exactly, Dragon Blood. Come on. We need to get like a next gen Chapek AA, you know, animatronic in there. Lucas here says One Piece can have its own restaurant, cafe, exterior show, and a roller coaster virtual ride. Yeah, there's so much potential. Yeah, I love that, Lucas, and I love Rogue Attraction's idea of having it like being like a Pirates of the Caribbean thing. Dude, that is absolutely bonkers cool. Dragon Blood here says Metroid HHN house, please. What say you about that, Tommy? Are you down for that, bro? Would you be down for that?
I wish, man. I wish. Have something chasing us the whole time. That'd be crazy. Going through the back. That would be cool, man. Metro. Man, Nintendo got to sign off on some of this horror stuff first, man. We probably have to start with Luigi's Mansion, then probably work down the line. Then we would get to Metroid. But I would definitely take it, man. That series is crazy, man. Samus and everything.
Woo, I love it. I'm getting a nerd boner even thinking about it. what about you, conductor? Would you be down for that?
Oh, I'd 100% be down for that. Even if it wasn't even for Horror Nights, but it was for Fan Fest. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
God, it would be more popular than Dungeons and Dragons, or at least close to it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Right. I agree with you 100%. So Dragon Blood here says congratulations to Jay Shear for his first award with Best First Time Director. Jay Shear is he is family here on the channel. He has his own show on OG55 called Story Geeks, and he's absolutely brilliant. He's an independent director, and we've showcased his new film, No Vacancy, several times here on the channel, and he recently won an award for Best First Time Director. I'm actually going to be recording a video all about this tomorrow.
Nice.
with the one and only Jay Shear and also Tones Poppy. And we're gonna talk about all of this. But Dragon Blood, thank you for posting that, because Jay is an amazing dude, a friend of the channel, and we love him so much and really, really proud of everything. Back in December, I had the honor of actually hosting a Q&A at a theater in OC. It was a screening for this movie, No Vacancy, and it was a lot of fun, man. And Jay's an amazing dude. So yeah, huge shout out to Jay and a lot of love and congratulations to Mr. Shear. Madam Wazelle, happy birthday. Thank you so much, Madam Wazelle. Thank you so much. I'm finally 21. I can finally drink. It feels fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. Thank you so much, Madam Wazelle. Do appreciate you. Thank you. Storybook Sorceress. Ooh, that's a dope name. When are you guys planning and visiting Epic? Well, right now, the Italiano he's out there in Florida right now, and he actually visited. Our buddy Slimer as well already visited. I don't know. I'm in California. I don't know when the next time I'm going to make it out to Florida to do this, but I want to do it within the next year is my goal.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of my goal. What about you, Tommy? When are you planning on going down there, brother?
Actually, we're already getting the plans rolling. We're probably going to head out there beginning of March. So me and Conductor are going to roll out there, probably meet up with Georgia Italiano and Abby because they're going to be out there at the same time. probably hit the park 4 days, then probably hit Disney like 3 or 4 days. So
Nice.
got a lot planned, man. It's gonna be crazy, and it's within the year, so I'm not gonna complain. I got a lot planned this year. Horror Unleashed, and then HHN right after, and then probably right after that, Not Scary Farm, and Oogie Boogie. So I'm doing more horror this time, but I'm ready for epic next year. What about you, Conductor?
I'm ready. Like Tommy was saying, me and him are going to be rolling out to Orlando in early March. It's going to be an absolute blast. My friend Brandon, he actually works at Walt Disney World. I haven't seen him in like 7-8 years, so it's going to be awesome to see him again. But it's going to be awesome to be at Epic. My most anticipated land out of everything would have to be, it would have to be Darkmoor and Universal Monsters. The second one, believe it or not, would have to be, I would have to say it would have to be Islands of Berk.
Yeah.
Then Harry Potter, then Super Nintendo World, because we already have Super Nintendo World out here. Obviously, we don't have the grand scale like Orlando and Japan have. So I'll definitely have to try the Yoshi attraction just to say I did it, and then check out Donkey Kong Country. But I'm more anticipated for that Darkmoor and Islands of Berk, because the Islands of Berk. Okay, I have to say this. Watching all the videos, watching all the POVs and Instagram reels, all that, it is so immersive with meet and greet characters, the atmosphere, just the whole landscape of what it looks like is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because when we're all at Disneyland for the 70th, all three of us and George and all that, we were talking at one point, we're all like, our this key that's behind me on my dresser here, the interactive key, is it really for kids or is it for Disney adults? Because I see all the Disney adults doing this, so I don't think it's really meant for kids. It's the same thing with this Island of Berk. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure kids go in there all the time now that the park's open, but I think people like us, theme park nerds, enjoy it more because just the atmosphere, just everything, the kinetic energy it brings. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, 100%, Conductor. XXX says, OG, do you watch anime? And Lucas says, I don't think OG does because he was surprised One Piece was that popular. Hey, touche. Lucas, absolutely touche on that, 100%. And then XX follows up with, I meant, does he plan on watching any? Yeah, actually, you know what? This One Piece thing really has changed me. It really has. I've always respected Japanese animation because Japanese animation, a big problem with like American animation is I feel like American animation feels like they've made some progress, but I still feel like American animation industry still feels like it's like just for families and kids still. But the Japanese understand that animation is a medium and it's not necessarily for any group. It can be for families, it can be for kids, but it can also be for adults. You know what I'm saying? And the Japanese understand that, I think, more so than American. And I really do love that because animation is absolutely something that can be anything, So I do want to dip into more anime. I gotta talk to Lucas Kim about like where to get started with that stuff because it's awesome, man. I definitely want to. I'm definitely interested for sure. It's Florentine. I want to thank you, It's Florentine, for being a member, and that is a spiffy profile pic, man. Looking stylish. It says here, still bummed I couldn't surprise George and Abby, but thank you for the next time hint. I don't know what that means, but
because I said that we're going in March and we're going to meet them there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. Perfect. And then they'll be back from their vacation. I think Tuesday or something. I don't even know. I can't even. I mean, he's on the cruise. I can't even talk to him. I can't even. Yeah, he's out. He's out in the ocean. Let me see here. We got Rogue Attraction. Epic is too expensive for a family of 4 right now.
Yeah,
man. You know what? I haven't seen many reviews online that were family oriented. It's mainly YouTubers or content creators or someone with maybe one kid or so. I seen PT Dev. I seen Dev bring his niece or nephew which is probably then his sister. So that's kind of like family, but that's not a family of four. That's a good point. I'm wondering, like you said, the food's probably pricing people out, and that's a little hard.
And there's no AP option right now too. You know.
Yeah, right. No annual pass. No options for anything really. Let's get through this month. Yeah. Let's get through Universal dropping Horror Unleashed in Vegas. Let's get through Florida with HHN and everything, and maybe Epic will try to tune this out maybe in 6 months.
Sure.
Yeah,
definitely. I want to answer this question first, OG, on Sandra's comment. She said, do you remember when they had movie premieres at Disneyland? Do you think they should bring them back? I don't know if Cassandra is referring to when they had the AMC in downtown Disney, but one idea I had, since they don't have a movie theater on property anymore, would be the Fantasyland Theater. Since that thing sits pretty much vacant a lot and just does nothing more than it does something. If they converted all those benches to stadium seating and they put a screen in there, they could do it right there. Why not?
Yeah. No, I used to love Cassandra. I used to love when they would do this. They did like a lot of the pirate movies. They premiered them at Disneyland. I think that's really cool. I love that. I absolutely love that. And I've said it so many times before, but it bears repeating. The studio is the heartbeat of the entire machine at Disney. Like it is the nucleus, that like the sun that everything else kind of revolves around, right? So it's cool to have like the studio element kind of brought into the park stuff, you know, do those premieres. It would have been cool to have Lilo and Stitch live action premiere. That would have been dope, you know?
It would have been awesome. Main Street is so iconic to all the Disney movies. And look at, they didn't just do premieres.
Right.
Do you guys remember when they built that freaking pool down Main Street?
Yeah.
And they had that going. So there's so many things they could do with that. I would love to see that come back.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. 100%. Yeah, that stuff is a lot of fun. And that was stuff that stuff I really do miss. So yeah, bring it back, Disney. If by chance anyone from Disney is watching, bring it back. Shane Narani says here, what IP do you think is a good bet to be in the Abu Dhabi Disneyland? I think Avatar and Aladdin, because representation matters. 100%. 100%. And also, I do want to say happy Pride Month. Today is the official start of Pride Month. So I do want to say, everybody, we have a lot of friends and family part of that community. So much love to everybody in that community, and happy Pride Month, 1000%. Aladdin, though, Shane, is like a given. I mean, even in all the promo stuff, it was like a whole new world. And like they used like the tagline, Aladdin's going to be in there, and they're going to have like the most crazy Aladdin e-ticket. I'm like almost certain.
Oh, definitely.
Because remember, this park, Disney's not paying for this park.
No,
it's like Tokyo. It's Oriental Land Company kind of situation, right? So this company, I think it's called, God, I forgot the name of it. It starts with an M. I do apologize, but they're paying for it, and they're just licensing out the Disney IP. Yeah. I bet you the Aladdin e-ticket is going to be bonkers. Avatar, again, probably. I mean, we're getting a crazy Avatar land out here in California. They'll probably have something like that out there. I think Lucas Kim earlier mentioned Zootopia. That's a good bet. So, yeah, I think we're looking. Remember, Bob Iger said, too, this is a very modern Disney park. So I would look at some of these more modern franchises. So Avatar, Zootopia, Aladdin is still kind of of the modern age, in my opinion, or maybe I'm just old. I don't know, but But what say you, Tommy? What do you think, brother? What IP do you think they're going to put in Abu Dhabi?
Man, I'm gonna have to roll with Aladdin 100%. That was the first thing I thought when I seen that they dropped this. Like you said, the e-ticket can be crazy. They could have multiple things. Like I can't even imagine seeing Agrabah and then the Diamond in the Rough.
Oh,
bro, the Diamond in the Rough. All that could be in the e-ticket. But it also, since this is an indoor theme park, it could be nighttime at all times for the Diamond in the Rough part. Like, I mean, you never know. Like, we could have Jafar with the parrot, bro. Like, was it Iago? Come on, like I need it all. Like we could even have like a play or a musical with Aladdin doing the whole run like real quick with him being a street rat and then being the prince and then losing it, and then we could have it all. Like I'm 100% down for that. I'm trying to think to go out of like the norm. I want Lion King, but that's going to Paris. Yeah. I don't know if there's going to be any Pixar either. I don't know, Conductor. You think there'll be any Pixar, or what do you think is going to go down?
That's debatable. They could put some Pixar in there, but I agree with you both. Aladdin is number one. I don't know. Avatar is a possibility. I'm not going to rule that out. Someone posted in the comments a while back that Disneyland Paris was supposed to get Avatar as well. So we're getting the second version, they're getting the third version. And I think since James Cameron is making multiple Avatar movies, it would be smart to base each Avatar movie in a different theme park. So obviously Animal Kingdom has the first movie. We would get the second movie, which is Fire and Ash, and then whatever the third movie is, Paris can have that. So again, it's not out of the question for Abu Dhabi. I'm not saying it isn't. I just kind of feel that, like OG's saying with the Marn IPs, yes, Avatar is Marn, but it's more kind of like a jungle type IP, and Abu Dhabi's kind of in the middle of a desert.
So, yeah, I feel you on that. So just real quick, throwing it out there, maybe Moana or maybe Wreck-It Ralph. They don't have nothing for Wreck-It Ralph. That's Disney. Right. Yeah. And then Lilo and Stitch, I know that's more Hawaiian, and so is Moana, but you never know.
You never know. And Disney's definitely, when they build these parks, there's all kinds of research that goes into this stuff, right? Like focus grouping basically to death. And they're going to look at the numbers for what IPs are really popular in this region, and they're going to lean hard into those. So it'll be very, very interesting to see kind of like what transpires. Now, Rogue Attraction here says the live action Aladdin made crazy money in the Middle East. I did not know that. But that honestly, Rogue, is probably why they're leaning into it. Like we've seen it on all the promos, a whole new world, right?
Definitely.
Aladdin's almost a shoo-in. Like almost certainly going to end up in this park in a big way. But Xvoot here. Xvoot is a friend of the channel. Thank you so much for joining us, Xvoot. Moral is the company. Thank you for that. I do appreciate you. I know that Lucas and Rogue also mentioned that. Moral is the company. They built the Sea World, and it looks incredible. It does, absolutely. And I'm sure that the Disney park will be awesome. Surprised to see Disney do this, though. Seems like a cash grab. I mean, it seems like, well, yeah, it is kind of a cash grab. I mean, there's very little. They're not putting their own money in it. I mean, Disney's not putting their own money in it. I mean, this is going to be a huge moneymaker for Disney. So, but here's the thing though, Xfood, and here's the positive thing for us domestic park fans. This Abu Dhabi park is going to have essentially a blank check. I mean, they're going to spend big bucks on this thing. These attractions that they build will be next gen crazy good, right? Those attractions that land in Abu Dhabi, that research and development is paid for by Moral now. Yeah. So now they can bring it to Anaheim if they want to put it in DCA or wherever for a lot cheaper because Moral already fit the bill for the R&D. Yeah. So it's like it is a cash grab. I mean, obviously Disney's a corporation; they're here to make money, but it does, I think, benefit Anaheim and Orlando also because that research and development is already paid for. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how it all shakes out, though. 100%.
Oh, definitely.
Let me see here. So we have. Let me kind of go through the comments here. I know I missed.
It's Florentine. He said a Hercules representation wouldn't be bad either. With the
I mean, I see Mondo from Five Fires always advocating for Hercules anything. So that would be sick to have that over there. It's just, man, am I going to get on the 17-hour flight and fly over there?
Yeah, man. That's the only thing is that flight, right? Exactly. And then Brian here says exactly. It's free R&D for Disney for future projects. Yeah.
Definitely.
And you know what? Here's the other catch. Here's the other thing. We talked about Avatar. And what have we been complaining about, guys, here on the channel forever? Disney's not telling us where Avatar is going in DCA. No. Is it possible they're waiting for Moral to fit the bill for all this before they bring it over here to California?
Tommy,
I mean, it's possible. I mean, what do you think, Tommy? You think that that's kind of why they're dragging their feet? So Moral can do all this R&D on all this Avatar stuff, and then they'll bring it out here to DCA?
Yeah, because they started on Avengers first, right? Over here. That's what they're pumping on now. So I think you're right, man. I think, we got to see, right? But I think maybe that could be the main thing. They could just be planning out strategically and making sure everything falls in the right place. Because after Avengers, we really don't know what's next, what they're going to start pushing on, you know?
Right? 100%.
But the thing is with Avatar, not knowing where it's going, you know, I'm glad they're starting to build the e-ticket attraction for Avengers, because we've been waiting since 2019 for this thing, gotten several different iterations of what this attraction is supposed to be.
Right.
And the fact we're getting Stark Flight Labs as well. So I'm glad they're starting to work on it. But before they even think about building Pandora, build a Coco attraction, if not a whole land, which I'm hoping. I know OG's on board with that.
Yeah.
They got to build the Eastern Gateway.
Yeah.
It's not going to start, because that's going to be a massive, and I mean, you look at Mickey and Friends parking structure, this thing's going to be even bigger than that. So when they're going to start building that, I don't know. But I can promise you they're at least going to be halfway done with that project before they even break ground on Avatar. Because Avatar is going to just bring in the crowds like crazy.
You don't know when they're doing it? All this special access, Conductor? You don't have any idea, bro? Come on.
Hey, where's our friend Bob Iger in the chat? I need some access right now.
Come on, we need some special access, Bob. Come on, Bobbers. Xboot here says, good point, OG. I just hope it doesn't take 7 years to build a clone like Tron did. Yeah, exactly. That was ridiculous. Here's the thing, Xboot. Disney, the reason why they take forever is not because they don't know how to build attractions, or that they have like construction workers that don't know how to work faster. None of that. Because a lot of these contractors, they work on both Disney and Universal. Yeah. What happens though is that Disney wants to drag these projects over multiple fiscal periods to basically soften the blow. Universal doesn't give a shit. Okay, so that's the difference, and that's why you're seeing Universal build a lot faster. But I will say this, and this is what Rogue is saying. Moral works fast when Disney's not paying for it, and it's Moral right check. You're going to see this thing being built much faster than anything you've seen in the domestic parks, for that reason that Rogue is bringing up, because Disney isn't paying for it. There's no need to stretch it out over multiple fiscal periods anymore. Go ahead, Conductor.
Well, it's funny because look at the Oriental Land Company with the new Space Mountain. And the new Tomorrowland, look how fast they're moving on that. Right. So it makes sense. Even with Disneyland Paris, when they start building that Lion King attraction, whoever is responsible for that, I know it's not going to be the Oriental Land Company. It's going to be some French company or something like that. But I guarantee it's going to be the same thing, you know, because that park alone, along with all the Asia parks, like Japan, you know, and the China park, they're any attractions, anything like that, it's a separate company that builds these attractions, lands, and all that. So, like OG says, they don't give a shit. So they just said, hey, here's the IP, build it. Universal's all like, we don't care if you know, we're going to throw money at it. Just build the damn thing. And it shows, because 3 years ago in 2022, they showed an aerial view of what Epic Universe looked like. It was dirt. 3 years later, brand new park with 11 attractions and 3 hotels.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Well said, sir. Well said. Lucas Kim here says Moral's plan on Abu Dhabi Disneyland isn't just a plain project. They are going to go all out so that you won't think of any other parks and think of always returning to Abu Dhabi for that park. Yeah. This is the thing, Lucas. You're absolutely right, brother, because if you look at like the architecture out in that part of the world, like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, like it's crazy impressive. Like it's incredible. Imagine what they're going to do with a Disney theme park and how next gen and crazy it's going to be. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, well said, brother. Well said. Let me see.
Well, will they price out families? You know, how bad is it going to be? How much is it going to cost everybody?
That's another one we don't know. And it's a different part of the world, so it's kind of a different dynamic. But you're right, Tommy. I mean, it's Disney, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have you drop some change for sure. For sure.
And Abu Dhabi's already an expensive area to live in, and that's where all the elite go for events and sporting events. So this may just be for the elite families. I'm not sure. We'll see. I just found out though that Disney, they had to present Abu Dhabi to the president because of all that stuff going on with working out different countries and stuff. And the president said he liked the idea of it. So I think it's all good.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And that's the thing too, is like, regardless of politics and all that stuff, it's good to see Disney's working with the administration, just because as Disney fans, we don't want any drama. We just want their projects to go through and have no hiccups in the road. Like, let's just get these things built and have the support. So again, politics aside, it's good that they're working with the administration to at least kind of get, support and for this project. I think it's fantastic. Absolutely. Well said, Tommy. Brandon Wong here says Disney should have hired the Amish community to build their next attraction. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Dragon Blood here says, I'm fine with Disney projects taking their time personally. Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's a case to be made with that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's like, as long as I know it's coming, I'm good, right? I mean, I'm kind of more like nervous when it's like right now with Avatar at DCA. I'm a little more nervous because we haven't started that. So it's too easy for Disney to be like, oh, you know what? Do we really need to do that? Nah, we'll cut it. But when they start to build it, I feel a little better.
Definitely.
So that's kind of.
And the thing is Avatar is pushing. We're getting the Ash one, the Fire and Ash one. These movies are coming out hot. James Cameron's pumping them out. Like, Disney should have been on the ball, and when the movie drops next year, like, it's going up. Or maybe it's not next year. Avengers or not? It's Avengers next year now since it got pushed back. Avatar might be this year, bro. Like, they should have had it ready so all the fans could be there when number 3 drops. Like, I don't know.
So I'm gonna throw a prediction out for the second movie for Fire and Ash. What I would like to see happen if Disney, and I mean no disrespect by this, but when as Disney's dragging their feet on trying to figure out where they're going to put this, I think a great idea would be for like either the ending credits of the movie, probably the ending credits, so people would have to sit there and watch the movie to look at the clip. But I think at the end of Fire and Ash, it would be a great thing if Bob Iger came on the screen, or Josh Tomorrow came on the screen and said, I hope you enjoyed Fire and Ash. This is a wonderful franchise. More movies are coming, but we want to give you the very first look of what Fire and Ash is going to be like in real life at the Disneyland Resort. And show the location and show concept art. Dude,
that'd be fire, bro. Yeah, they should, dude. That's something that I would love to see. That would get the fandom like energized that you wouldn't believe. You know what I'm saying? Fantastic idea, conductor. Well said, brother. Joe M here says, also, do you think Disney will ever start adding Avengers to parades? I think it's funny Universal has Avengers in past parades, but I don't think Disney has. No, you're right. Disney hasn't. And I wish they would. I've been saying, here's the thing. I love Pixar. I love Pixar. But you know what? They are so played out in terms of parades at DCA, it's not even funny. Can we get a dope Marvel parade at DCA with a giant Incredible Hulk float, right? And you can have like a nighttime lighting package and all that shit, bro. Like, that would be so sick. Come on, Disney. Give us an Avengers or a Marvel parade at DCA. I think it'd be amazing. Something totally different. Like, dude, they've been like the Pixar stuff at DCA has been. I remember back in like 2005. We're talking like 20 years ago, man. Like Block Party Bash. That was a banger parade, but bro, that was 20 years ago. You know, I mean, then we have this new one out now. It's like a cavalcade or something going on. Pixar Forever or something, or Together Forever, and I don't know. I think it's time to kind of mix it up a little bit. I think we can use some other IPs at DCA. But what say you, Tommy? What do you think, brother?
Man, you know what? I would love an Avengers parade once they're done with the expansion of the campus. And they could even, for the people asking for an update on the Thanos ride all the time, maybe this parade could be the update that people want. Maybe it could be like a Doctor Doom parade, because by this time, all that will be out already. Like, they could be hitting it big. Like, they could hit a lap, like wherever the expansion is. Yeah. I can see that being a fat parade. And it, you know, they already have Ant-Man and Wasp and Thor and countless others, you know, running around. They could have them all those costumes are waiting in the back. I mean, I know Shang-Chi's been out a lot. Like, but Eternals aren't out anymore. I mean, Deadpool's not out. They could really kill it, especially with the music, like how they segment out the music in parades with the floats. They could kill it. Like, you could see them bend the block, and it could be, like you said, Hulk, or just the Deadpool music comes on with Wolverine. They could do a little skit, too. It may not even be a float. Like, they could rock that for countless ideas, man.
Oh, dude. I mean, can you imagine? You know how fun they could have with this? You could have an Ant-Man float, like literally like a tiny Ant-Man float. Like, have it like a remote control like car, and have it only like this big. And have it going through, and it's like a tiny ass float, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, you could do so much stuff, man. It'd be so fun. That would be amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Tones is in the house. Tones of Bad Thought Studio. Tones, thank you so much for joining us, brother. Hey, beautiful people. Hope you're all having a great weekend. Yes, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, Tones. Like I said, we're going to be doing a recording very soon. Tones and Jay Shear, centered around Jay's movie, No Vacancy. So look for that very, very soon. And Brian says here, it's not letting me send super chats for some reason, by the way. I've tried a few times. I am so sorry, Brian. I'm not sure what's going on. YouTube, I've had a similar issue, actually, when I've tried to send super chats to like creators that I'm watching, and it'll tell me to like re-edit it and then send it again. I don't know why it does that. It's like a weird YouTube like glitch, but I appreciate you trying though, Brian. I do appreciate you trying, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I've had that exact same problem though. Yeah. And then we got Giant Peter Show here says, what did he say? He says, Florentine, I'm saying that they are going to announce it while he is away. Oh yeah, because we made the joke that George is out to sea. He's got no phone, you know, and nothing. And like, they're going to announce this crazy big news when he's out to sea, and he can't do shit about it. You know what I'm saying? He's going to come back, and the whole OG crew is going to be reporting on like a third park in Anaheim, a new CEO, and all this crazy stuff. And he'll be gone. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. That'd be fantastic, bro. That'd be funny. So freaking funny. It hasn't happened yet. Hey, Bob Iger, make some moves, man. We only got a few more days till George comes back. Can you do something, bro? Come on. Yeah. Come on. Oh, and then we got Mr. Lucas and Disney in the house. Tell Jay to cast me in his new movie. Lucas, I'm going to talk to him tomorrow, and I will tell him that. We need Lucas Kim in the next movie. Thank you so much for the super chat, Lucas. We do appreciate you. And we got the one, the only Mr. Seymour Duck in the house with a gifted OG55 membership. Thank you so much, Seymour. And hey, listen, if you're a member here on OG55, I did an hour and some change video with Seymour Duck. Okay. Getting to know Seymour. It was an hour and some change, just getting to know Seymour. This dude is freaking hilarious, bro. He was telling me stories to give a little insight into kind of what we were talking about. We were talking about, oh man, no, I'm not gonna give it away. I'm not gonna give it away. Just if you're a member, check it out. It's a fantastic video. Mr. Duck is absolutely hilarious. But Seymour, you're a friend of ours. We do appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Brian here with a $2.79 super chat says over or under $2 billion for Fire and Ash. Ooh, Well, first of all, thank you for the super chat, Brian. I'm gonna go over, man. I think it's gonna hit 2 billy.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna. I mean, the other two movies hit 2 billy. Way of Water and the first movie hit 2 billy. I think this is it's gonna hit 2 billy. And from what we've seen, like supposedly they're like introducing like a like evil Navi or something. Like they have like red skin and stuff. That's gonna be sick, bro. What do you think, Tommy? You think this is gonna hit 2 billy, bro?
I mean, it has to, man. The Avatar franchise is not to be played with, right? I think the story's just good and everybody loves the vibe of it and stuff. So I think for sure. What do you think, Conductor?
So I absolutely believe it's going to be 2 billion. I think it's even gonna be more than that. And
Damn,
as the movies go on, and once we get the land at DCA, it's going to crank the stakes even higher than that. So I'm anticipating it for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But hey, do people not like the Avatar land in Florida?
No, they love it, dude. That land is the goat.
Well, the only bad part, the only negativity to that land is that Animal Kingdom closes early.
And you want to see Avatar at night, bro.
Yeah, the nighttime aspect of that land hardly ever gets seen, and that's the only negativity to that land.
Yeah, but guess what, Conductor? When they build it out here in California, bro.
Oh yeah.
we get that nighttime action, bro, and we don't have to worry about closing at 6 p.m. because DCA don't be closing at 6 p.m.
Hey, wait a second though. Once we get that, that's going to be another George calendar right there. That's going to be a photo op. I promise you that.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna get hard. It's gonna be hard to get the blue body paint on that guy though, with all that chest hair though. I don't know. Oh God, I shouldn't have said that because I'm gonna be eating after this. So, not a visual I wanted. But T.S. Wade says, "Is it true that Epic Universe is more profitable than Walt Disney World?" T.S. Wade, I don't know where you heard that. I don't know if that was like a grifter thing. I don't know where that's coming from. How is it even possible to be more profitable than Walt Disney World? It barely opened.
I'm not sure.
Like it barely opened. So whoever told you that, or if you heard that somewhere, that's not true. I mean, it hasn't been out long enough to even do that. You know what I'm saying? So no, that's nonsense. But you know what's not nonsense is Tommy on the live for the W. Let's go, Tommy in the house from Maybe. Tommy, what say you, brother? What say you? You're the man of the hour.
Shout out, Maybe. Yeah, we got to link up. We got to get it cracking at a Disney park. Yep, it's lit.
Absolutely. And hold on one second, everybody. I do apologize. My stream is kind of lagging here. Storybook Sorceress here says they just moved the after hours events from Magic Kingdom to AK Conductor. Time to go.
Okay.
There we go.
Really?
There we go. Wade getting his info from WDW Pro. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
There we go. There we go. Hey, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I'm gonna be smart here with that one. I'll just keep my mouth shut. Remy D, thank you so much for being a member. What do you guys think of a full-blown Jungle Book section in Adventureland? Which castle park would benefit the most from it? Oh man. Ooh. Remy D, I love this. This is awesome. Here's the thing, like Anaheim, we don't really have the space for that, to be honest with you. As much as I would love to have it out here in California, we don't have the space for it. I can see them doing it maybe in Florida. I mean, they have endless amounts of room. Or maybe like one of the Asian parks or something. I don't know, but that's awesome. I mean, I would even actually, to be honest with you, I would love to see Jungle Book even come to like Animal Kingdom. That'd be dope, right? What say you?
I think it could go to Abu Dhabi, right?
I mean, that's possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, that. I agree with you though. There's really no room for it. The only way I can see it, and it's not even something that I would even recommend. You know, because there's, Tom Sawyer's Island out here in Anaheim. I'm not talking about building an attraction on that island. I'm talking about like the back half away from Fantasmic, the back half of it. You can kind of do some Jungle Book, theming elements, but I wouldn't even recommend that because obviously you don't want to ruin Tom Sawyer's Island. So I think it would probably be better in the Florida parks. Now, I would probably say either Animal Kingdom out in Florida, or like I was saying earlier, just put it in Abu Dhabi, because it's going to be state of the art anyway. So why not?
Absolutely. The chat's getting spicy as fuck. Oh man, you guys are hilarious. Storybook says Jungle Book kids play area. Yeah, there's potential with Jungle Book. I think there's a lot of potential there with that. It's a great franchise. And here's the thing, Disney, the live action movie, which came out I think about a decade ago, is like 2016-ish, by from Jon Favreau. That movie made $1 billion. It crossed $1 billion. This franchise is still viable. So yeah. I think absolutely they should mess with a Jungle Book, anything in the parks. And then maybe here says, I'd get the video demonetized talking about WW Pro. That's awesome. That is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We got Tones Poppy here, Bad Thought Studio, saying if Disneyland never existed, would the movies alone be able to keep the company relevant? And here's the thing, Tones, and we talked about it, I think, on your channel, actually, on Bad Thought Studio. The theme parks keep the IP in the conversation. Because when you go to Disneyland and you see, Snow White and you see the Little Mermaid in these attractions and what have you, it keeps it in the psyche of the general audiences. And a lot of other studios don't have those parks to do that. No. So I think the parks are a big engine to keep these things relevant for decades and decades and decades and decades. Because eventually a movie will come out, even successful movies, but eventually it kind of falls off. You kind of forget about it, but you're never going to forget about it with Disney. Why? Because they're going to build a giant ass attraction at the parks, and that you'll be going to for the next 50 to 100 years. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm curious your thoughts.
Oh, you're completely right. I think with these theme parks, it stretches out the life to a fully complete even farther. Like, for it to be like Toy Story anywhere or anything, like Buzz Lightyear stretches over merchandise, toys, theme parks, and everything. What's funny, kind of along the lines of this, is I was looking at some stuff today, and the 4 studios right now, Disney's on top for this year, money-wise, for sales in movie production. So it's Disney, then Warner Brothers, then Paramount, then Universal. So Universal's last out of these guys. Of course, Disney's going to be first, but like OG keeps saying, man, these theme parks pump the life into these IPs. Even like bringing Star Wars to life, that just keeps it relevant. Something to physically and visibly see and be around. It's, a lot of people aren't just in California. People travel to these parks, Florida and Cali and all around. So it is a big thing, but I think I don't know. It's just weird looking at the other aspect. Like I said, Universal's 4th. They have these big IPs at Universal, and they're just like tail end. Paramount doesn't have anything anymore. No theme parks anywhere, and they're building that Top Gun experience in Vegas, but WB too. I mean, there's no WB theme park. I'm probably slacking. I don't know. Let us know in the comments.
In Abu Dhabi, there is one.
Yeah. Okay. In Abu Dhabi, but that's the thing, though, Tommy. I've been saying it for a real long time, brother. Like, WB has great IP. Like, great IP, dude. When I was a kid, and maybe because I'm older, I don't know, but I used to love Tiny Toons, Animaniacs. WB was like Disney's biggest competition back in the 90s, dude. They had all the banger cartoons. You were either watching the Disney Afternoon or you were watching Animaniacs or Tiny Toons or like one of Warner Brothers things. And then like in 2000, when America Online merged with Warner, it just, everything went to shit after that. And they still haven't recovered. And now they have a terrible CEO with Zazie still. Zaslav, yeah, man, he hasn't done like a lot of great stuff, and I was really bullish on him, man. I thought going into this, I'm like, okay, cool. He's done some really good things with Discovery, but like, he just hasn't been the guy, you know? So it's just sad because I love the Warner Brothers IP. I think there's a lot of potential there they can tap into, which is why I've been saying now, Zazie obviously doesn't know what he's doing. So let Comcast just buy it.
Yeah.
Let Universal buy Warner Brothers. Here's the other thing too. If Universal was able to buy Warner Brothers, the Warner Brothers lot, you can see it from Universal Hollywood, dude. You can see it. You could move all these sound stages over to the Warner lot, and you can free up the entire Universal lot for theme park space, bro.
And if they decide to do that, you know, if I was Brian Roberts, one of the things I would come to terms with if buying out Warner Brothers, since they're so close to each other, and since Universal wants to expand the Hollywood park, not to the point where it's like a Orlando resort, because that's never going to happen. If we had the golf course, maybe, and that's a stretch, but maybe. But don't have it, you know, some type of deal that I would agree to buy if I was Brian Roberts and I was going to buy Warner Brothers out. I would make it a deal where you would have to own that company for 25 years. So you're landlocked into that. Because the problem I see is if Universal buys them out, and let's say 5-10 years from now, they decide to sell, but yet they moved all their production over there, and now there's far less sound stages on the Universal lot.
Right.
Are you telling me now they're going to revert back and start ripping out theme park attractions to build now sound stages again? So there's a catch-22 there.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well said. Well said. Bad Thoughts here says, now talking parks, if Disney never bought or merged with any other companies, would the park still be popular to attend? Now, keep in mind here, it's a great question from Tones. Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel, and now Fox, which is Avatar now, right?
Yeah.
Would the park still be popular? I'm going to argue yes, because I think, Tones, the Disney IP without all the other stuff. You take Pixar out, you take Marvel out, you take Star Wars out. Disney as its own IP is massive, dude.
Yeah.
So I think they would still be very, very popular. But I do think, though, Tones, that these other IP that you're referring, like Pixar, Star Wars, all that stuff, has definitely added to it for sure. But these parks, like Disneyland, was popular before any of these things even came about. So what say you, Tommy? I mean, what do you think about Tones' question? I think it's a great one.
Well, first of all, man, when is Disney going to become a monopoly? I mean, it feels like it already is, right? They're just eating up property. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't stress enough that when Batuu and Galaxy's Edge and Star Wars was coming to Disneyland, it drew a big crowd. It drew even a different crowd.
Right.
So when they keep bringing these in, and like you said, Fox with Avatar, then we got Avengers with Marvel and all that, and they could do X-Men now if they want, and then Pixar, bro. Like, this stuff is crazy. Like, I think OG's right, though. I mean, they got countless hits. They could always just go back to the stuff they dropped in the 50s or whatever and just and go retro, and people are still going to go, especially all the women, and then bringing their kids. Like, when you introduce your kids to the movies you used to watch, that just plays along now.
100%. Like Little Mermaid. That Little Mermaid came out in 1989.
Yeah.
I mean, that franchise is still a banger franchise. People still love that franchise. So yeah, 100%. So yeah, it's added to it, Tones, but they'd be fine without them. Kaylee in the house. Kaylee with 2 E's is in the house. V-neck shirt season. It is absolutely V-neck shirt season, Kaylee. And it's always good to see you in the chat. Thank you so much. And we got Mr. Seymour Duck. But you know what, Mr. Duck? Oh, there it is. Okay, I lost him for a second. There he is. Mr. Seymour Duck. Lilo and Stitch attraction when? That $1 billion looks like it's coming soon, or sooner than we thought. So much for go woke, go broke. Am I right? Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, people were singing the people were already burying Disney, like, you know, what was like a year and a half ago, Seymour, and then here we are. Now they're like, you know, crushing it with the studio stuff, which is like pretty normal. I mean, studios have off years and stuff like that, so I never understood all the doom and gloom around that. But yeah, a Lilo and Stitch attraction, they should definitely do it. The cool thing about this franchise, Seymour, is that you can kind of go in two different directions with this franchise. You can do the Tomorrowland thing and do the Stitch like alien spaceship thing, but you can also do the Adventureland thing with the Islander culture and the Hawaii and all that, you know? So you can kind of take it in two different directions. So this franchise is unique in that way. So I think it's coming. I think we're gonna get a Lilo and Stitch attraction. I don't know what form it'll take, but I see it coming. What say you, conductor?
I 100% believe that. Kaylee has a interesting comment. She if you could pull that up real quick, OG. She said they should rip out Interventions building and make that a Stitch dark ride or something.
Oh.
And it's funny Kaylee says that because Walt Disney World, their Tomorrowland had a Lilo and Stitch attraction, and then they moved it. So people are all like, "Are you guys going to put it back, or are you going to put a different version of a Lilo and Stitch attraction back in the domestic parks?" So I agree with Kaylee. You know, Tomorrowland has been broken for what seems like past 20 years, so the early 2000s. So I 100% would love to see something done to that Interventions building, whether it's complete demo or something. Because for it to sit there, it's I don't know, it's a waste of space in my opinion.
Yeah, I love this is the thing I love about Conductor. Very passionate about that building. When we did our walk and talk with the Italiano, this guy was going off on that building. I love it. I absolutely love it.
You know what's funny? I should have told George's video, his audience. I should have said, you know what? If Bob Iger wants, I'll volunteer on the weekends. Couple hours out of my day, I'll wear a hard hat and get in one of those bulldozers, and I'll just go full ram speed.
There you go, Mr. Conductor, right? Absolutely. And Maybe here says, ooh, they need good Hawaiian food at Disney. I 100% agree.
Ooh,
this is the thing that I really love about like the current theme park kind of space right now, is that we are getting more and more cultural foods and stuff like that. Like no more are like the days of like, oh, it's just a corn dog and chips, right? Like you can get a bao bun at Disney now, which is dope, right? You can get all kinds of cultural food, which is awesome. Hawaiian food though would be absolutely bonkers. And then Lucas here says he's responding to maybe saying the best Hawaiian food is just spam with gochujang and eel teriyaki sauce and seaweed and rice. Gochujang is my go-to. I have so much of that stuff at my house. Absolutely love it. It's like a red pepper paste, and it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. What say you, Tommy? Are you a fan of Hawaiian food coming to Disney, or what do you think, brother?
Oh yeah, man, I love it, man. I get Hawaiian all the time. I love Kalua pork. Bring some Kalua pork to the park. They did some stuff for Moana too last year. I'm just not remembering the exact items, but they did drop a little bit for Moana too. I don't know if you guys remember. Yeah.
Moana 2 for the parks, you said? Oh yeah,
they dropped some foods. They had some type of Islander foods. Not sure if it was more Hawaiian, but it was last year, November-ish. But yeah, like some Lilo and Stitch themed foods, Kalua pork. We already have like maybe teriyaki on a stick, but maybe like the barbecue chicken on a stick. You know what I mean?
That'd be awesome.
That'd be fire. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lucas here says Ohana Restaurant is a thing in Walt Disney World Polynesian Resort and new Hawaii themed restaurants at New Poly Resort. Yes, absolutely. You know what? It's sad because we stayed at the Poly 2 years ago, and I never ate at Ohana's. Oh, I know, and I was freaking staying there, dude. But next time, absolutely. But Brian here says Ohana is a specific family Hawaiian restaurant. Cool, absolutely. And Remy D says Ohana means family. Absolutely. Okay, we'll take one more, and then we'll head out of here today. Well, you know, we'll go with Kaylee with 2 E's. Yep, Stitch's Great Escape. Where are they keeping that animatronic? That's a great question, Kaylee. Yeah, we got to find out where they're keeping it so we can actually we can buy it from them. We can have it. Yeah, that was an adorable animatronic. But yeah, go ahead, conductor.
No, I was just gonna say, hopefully it doesn't wind up like Buzzy, which has still not been found to this day.
Yeah, exactly. Where is he? Where is Buzzy?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, they did have that attraction, and it was and the thing with that attraction though, it was like a retheme.
Yeah,
you know, it was a retheme of Alien Encounter because Alien Encounter was way too intense for families. They felt so. I want to see Lilo and Stitch get like its own thing built from the ground up, though.
Oh, for sure.
No more rethemes, you know. So,
yeah.
Absolutely. And then Captain Cook's at the Poly is really good. Yes, Peter, we did have that. That I did have. That I did have. And then Brian here says, "Thanks, OG and fam. Have a great night." I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Lucas, thank you so much, brother. Maybe the Giant Peter Show. It's Florentine Rogue. Attraction, Dragon Blood, AZ, Apache, WW Pro. No, kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just trolling. Kaylee, Storybook Sorceress. Man, we got everybody in here today. It's awesome. Ben Zacuto, just everybody that joined us. Matthew Murr, Tones Poppy of Bad Thoughts. We have XXX, X Vudo. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to do a lot more lives. I love doing these. We all love doing these. So a lot more lives on the way. And Shane Narani, thank you for joining us. Tommy Toon, if you can remind everybody at home where they can find you on social media, sir.
Yeah, it was a fun time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you, OG, for hosting it, man. I always appreciate you. And Conductor, man, I appreciate you. I know we're going to lock in when HHN news drops this week. So You guys, man, tune into his Conductor live streams because this week there's going to be some heat for sure if you like horror. But, yeah, you can find me on Instagram at TommyToon_. I'm dropping the reels. Got a lot of Disney 70th stuff, Nintendo store stuff. I'm hitting Vegas soon, so you can check out all the pictures. Then on YouTube, getting the food reviews done, POVs, a lot of theme park stuff. You can catch me at Tommy Toon World.
There he is. You can also catch him at the club. Yeah, buddy. There he is. There he is. Mr. Tommy Toon in the house. Mr. Conductor. Mr. Choo Choo coming through. Where can everybody find you on social media, sir?
Absolutely. OG, you're always an amazing host. It's always a great time hanging out with you guys. Tommy, we are definitely going to lock in that HHN speculation talk. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I'm going to try to have Mondo from Five Fires on the channel and Junior on the channel as well. Like I said, I did a Spaces earlier today before this live stream on my X account, so definitely go check that out. But I'm Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky at Theme Park Conductor. You can find me on X at Theme Conductor. You can also find me every Sunday, except for tonight, every Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Conductor Sunday live stream.
Thank you for watching OG55. If you aren't already, consider becoming a member today.